Minions of the Zoo is a lovable ragtag group of misfits that sprang up initially as a fan group to Ranting Monkey, Scribelite, Some Dumb American, and their joint Lords of the Night livestream show. Late night discussions in Discord quickly evolved into streams of their own, with each member bringing something new and different to the table for discussion. Led by the incomparable Reject PPC and the One-Ton Hammer, the group rotates hosts known as Zookeepers.
Hello everybody and welcome to Minions of the Zoo. I am your host for this evening, One-Ton Hammer.
I will be your Zookeeper tonight, Reject.
Alright, and welcome to the zoo. I am the Lucky Pop-Tart Inquisitor.
Sanguine.
Skep, Tock.
I'm Prospero. Cassie.
And I'm Hazed.
Regular streamers, they're known as minions, and special guests are known as traveling exhibits. They're on a nightly basis, so that each show has something unique and fresh for our audience. Minions of the Zoo currently streams at 10:30 Central Standard, 11:30 Eastern Standard Time.
Let's be xenophobic. It's really in this year. Let's find a nasty, slimy, ugly alien to fear. There's no more cutesy stories about E.T. phoning home. Let's learn to love our neighbors like the Christians learned in Rome. We know we ought to hate them. They're different, you see. We've seen their mean and ugly on movies and TV. The folks that ought to know have told us how it's got to be. The gospel truth is found in scenes from Alien and V. Let's wipe out any life form that seems to be a threat. We'll serve them up a genocide they never will forget. 'Cause if we miss a couple, they'll breed a couple more. And soon we'll all be hating twice as many as before. You see, aliens can never be as good as humankind. A more delightful race than us you'll never ever find. So step aside, you star slime, we're ready for your worst. We know you want to beat us, enslave us and defeat us, oppress us and browbeat us unless we get you first.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Minions of the Zoo. I'm not your host. I am actually just
What's going on here? What are you taking? Are you taking over for me? It totally wasn't because my microphone was muted and I had to fix it and told Adam to do that. Hello everyone, welcome to the zoo. I'm your Zookeeper tonight, Inquisitor. Minions joining me are Mr. Adam.
Hello.
And Eeyore.
At the heretics.
Well, I agree, but, you know, what does that have to do with it? What are you doing? What are you doing? How are you gentlemen this evening?
Doing good.
That's good. Yeah, that's good. Let's see, I'm currently working on building my Leviathan stuff, as the title of the stream suggests. How about you, Adam?
I'm doing good.
That's good.
Nice, enjoyable Sunday afternoon.
Yeah. Let's say we were talking a little bit about our trip plans here before we went live. One of the things that I did buy in preparation for the trip was a mini projector, and it works. It works really nice. Okay, really, really nice. There are a few caveats though. I just found out. Number one.
I hope they're not too serious.
Well, number one, my phone is not compatible with using an HDMI cable to USB-C. So I can't play anything from my phone on the mini projector. However, the mini projector itself has a USB port that I can load movies onto a flash drive, and it plays just fine. I know, I've tested it out and watched several movies on it already. The other thing was that I bought an HDMI to USB-C with the intent that it would work with a Switch. Well, I'm sure Adam will be able to tell you immediately right off the bat because I was a dummy and didn't even think about it like this. You need a switch box that provides power and then a split to an HDMI thing to play Switch games without a dock.
Well, yes, to a degree. The main thing you need, that I at least haven't seen a workaround, is it needs a specific power.
Yes.
So it really does require its own Nintendo power adapter. But after that, if you get a USB-C dongle type adapter, it'll get the Switch image no problem. Like I said, the only thing it really wants is the power for some weird reason.
Yeah, it's fucked up that way. Yeah.
That's Nintendo for you.
Yeah.
Well,
I say we know that you have that. So when I bought the USB-C to HDMI, I thought that would work. It doesn't. But we know from experience that you have the hardware that can do that. We just need something that can plug into power, right? Well, yeah. I've got that that battery bank, the solar power battery bank, solar charging battery bank. So we can plug that into it, right?
Yeah.
So we should be good to go. We just need you to bring your tech stuff and we can play Switch games.
I have my tech bag. I mean, it's not packed as, because we're not going anywhere just of yet, but
yeah,
it's all listed. Everything to go for the tech part of the camping experience. Do we have something that we can portray the projector on?
No, but
screen?
we can bring some twine and a sheet, and that should be good. We just go to Target and buy a white sheet, and we should be good to go. And I'll tell you this much: the projector works really nice even in light. It's powerful enough you can see the picture even when it's light out.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it's a really nice little piece of tech. Here, if you guys can see the camera here on the stream, I can even show you. Ugh. This is the projector, and you can see it. It fits in the palm of my hand. That's as big as it is.
Damn.
It's fucking tiny. And like I said, right here, it's got an HDMI port and then a USB port. So you can just plug in the USB. And it's actually got a fairly good amount of sound, too. So no need to bring, extra speakers or anything like that. So long as we're not, in the middle of, a concert where there's tons of ambient noise, which, we're out in the fucking woods. Why would there be ambient noise?
Bears.
Well, if there's bears, hopefully the movie will scare them away. I mean, I'm bringing Evil Dead Rise as one of the movies that's on my flash drive.
Wait. And yeah, considering we're on the mainland, we're going to have to worry about bears and wolves.
Yeah, a little bit less so. I mean, it is still a fairly civilized part of the world. And it's, even though it is a national park, it's fairly small compared to some of the other national parks where you do have to worry about bears and wolves.
Well, hold on.
Mm-hmm.
So you're telling me, Donkey, that you're gonna come down here and you're not gonna be ready for fighting off any sort of wildlife? I mean,
well, it's bears and wolves he's worried about, Adam. He's already prepared to fight off moose.
Oh.
I mean, that's just the Canadian experience.
No, God, no! I will never, ever in my life fight a moose.
I thought that was a rite of passage, being Canadian.
Dude, moose can be 8 feet tall and weigh 2 tons.
Exactly.
We are sitting. Well, yeah, and you lead it to a cliff and you make it run off the cliff. Come
Yeah.
on, people.
You that works with deer, but not with moose. Moose will just gore your ass.
Or get run over by the
Look,
car.
our adventure party is all packing. We're packing, so you better be, dude, moose or wolf or bears. I mean, gremlin granny is what you gotta worry about.
Yeah, totally. And, she's hands down the biggest menace. By the way, one of the things that we can do while you're down here, Eeyore, is we can go to the range. I got my updated Foid card.
No.
So have you ever fired a gun before?
Once or twice.
You want to go to the range and fire 3 different handguns?
I would enjoy the most American thing I can think of.
Sure. Yeah, I have a 9mm, a 45, and then now I have a 357 Magnum. So that's
one question.
Huh.
Does Illinois' rules sort of die out when you enter a range?
Okay, so here's the thing. The thing that's required when you go into a shooting gallery in Illinois is you need to have one person on the range, namely the person who's paying for the time on the range as well, needs to have a FOID card. What that is a firearm, an Illinois firearm owner's identification card.
Yeah.
So that person essentially is the person who's signing the waiver when you go out onto the range. And then while there, you can, fire any weapons you own up until, whatever time that you want to, and then you leave.
Okay, so that's how it works.
Yeah, so, like, even though, like, say Adam doesn't have a FOID card, or you are being out of state, so long as I'm with you and I have a FOID card, you can go to the range. With me.
I understand what you're getting at.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure
you're going to be able to read the books when we go to the library, as long as Quiz has his library card.
Yes. Example.
That would imply that the range has a rent-a-gun system as well.
It does, yes. And if you want to rent a firearm to try out on the range, you do have to have someone there with a FOID card to sign off on it.
It's just, instead of the library, it's you can just go ahead and read the book. It's you can read this book, but you're gonna have to pay a couple dollarinos,
Oh yeah.
But you can still read the book. Have you been to the new range out there on Lake Street, Quiz?
On Lake Street, no. I've been to a couple. One way out north. Been to GAT. Couple of the others, but yeah, no. The big one is GAT. That's the one to go to because they have like all the different kinds of guns that you could want to rent.
Yeah. Dude, while Donkey's out here, outside of the shooting range, we should, GATS is kind of nearby. We should go to that paintball range.
Yeah, there is that.
Oh God!
What do you think about that?
No.
Why not?
I'll be covered in welts.
We'll see if we can get. You know how funny it would be if we can get whoever is coming around for the occasion. But yeah, dude, paintball, that'd be fun.
Yeah, I say it would be fun. I haven't been paintballing in forever.
Mm-hmm.
We used to go out into the forest preserve in Northbrook. It's so funny because you have like Northbrook is kind of like a rich bitch sort of territory. It's very yuppie, and you'd have people like in women in yoga pants running around, and then we'd like come out of the woods shooting at each other with paintball guns. It was fun though.
Times have changed.
That was back when we were in high school and we didn't give a shit.
Well, now people are jumping out of these woods and they're shooting actual guns. So
Yeah. Shh! You're exposing my pastime.
oh, I'm sorry. Also, it goes with those the people who say, "Oh, Chicago's not that bad." It's like, oh,
Well,
shooting in Naperville. Oh, okay. Yeah.
well, let's just start with the fact that going by the FBI's definition of a mass shooting, 2 occurred this weekend in Chicago alone, probably. And that's assuming this weekend was quiet.
I would say there's times where it's more loud than others.
Yes, more loud than others.
I'm curious.
Also, I've heard recently that O'Hare's turned into a dump.
Not really. Let's say I think the Terminators have gotten bigger. Yeah, they have. Look at that. That's the difference between the new. That's the difference between the new Terminators and the old Terminators. Yeah, new and old. Primaris mainly.
You in the process of putting a new arm on them?
No, I'm just in the process of straight up building them. These guys are brand new. Got the new 10th edition set. Speaking of, I can fix the orientation problem here. Go into properties, and then I don't know why this decided to do this, but where is it? Not color range. Come on, scroll down. Fuck. Flip vertically. There we go. Now, hands are coming from the right direction. And say I'm essentially gonna be putting all these guys together and only giving them their left arms because their right I need to grind down with my Dremel to put on the Imperial Fist insignia. That's gonna be the hardest thing about building these guys for the Leviathan set, but when I'm done with that, they're gonna look pretty awesome, I think. So, yeah.
Not bad at all.
Yeah. Oh, shit. Where's the other one? It's what? 5 and 6. There's 6. Not 36. Yep. Okay. I do like the sculpt on the Power Fist on these guys, though. That looks pretty cool. And 6. There we go. This is the Sergeant, just finishing up all of his stuff so that we can set them aside. Because then we can grind down. See, okay, so you can see right here where this internal pauldron is on this end. I need to grind all of this stuff above it on every angle, and on this angle down to be able to put on the Imperial Fist specific pauldron. So it's going to take a lot of time. But when it's done, I think it'll look good. Oh, it's funny too. My uncle left me a couple of things. Number one, the 357 Magnum that I was talking about. That's one of the things that was my uncle's and is now mine. Another thing is, it's right under my desk here. Let me get it. Where is it? There it is. Unfortunately, we can't take this one to the range, but yeah. There you go. You can see. It's another revolver, right? Now, what's cool about this one, and I didn't realize it at the time until later, that's a ramrod. This is a model Colt 1860 cap and ball revolver.
Yeah. Technically not a firearm, then.
Mm-hmm.
Because the ATF's definition of firearm requires smokeless powder.
Ah, yeah, no, this is a smoky powder because it is straight up black powder. Odd that cool. Something like that is not considered a firearm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no one credits the ATF with intelligence, so.
I mean, their only use is dog control.
Yeah. That's one good thing I'll say for social media is that all the that dogpile onto the ATF and FBI and all of those government agencies, because they can go fuck themselves. Yeah, I don't give a shit. Fuck you, Susan. AKA, Neil, whatever your fucking name is. Fuck you, too.
Neil? Oh, the new guy?
Yeah, Susan 2.0, yeah. Where's my clippers? You know what? I just realized we've been going this whole time without fucking BGM. I'm sorry.
Without what?
BGM. Background music.
What's that? Oh.
So I've been I usually put on background music for all of my streams. But I'd completely forgotten to do that.
I mean, that's fine. We have the that unique opportunity to bask in Donkey's succulent voice. So.
You leave my braying alone.
You're praying.
He said it, not us. He said it, not us.
Yeah, right. You said it, dude. All right, bud.
10 and 9. Holy shit, these guys are huge. New Terminators are swole. I say one of the things that 10th edition 40K has changed that I kind of like, heavy bolters now have sustained hits. aka exploding sixes.
Good it for you, for all intents and purposes, they already had those.
For Imperial Fists, yeah. Did you see the other things about the design notes, though, about exploding sixes and their application?
Like I've said, I haven't really followed 10th at all because I have a lot of animosity towards it.
Here's the major thing that makes some of the stuff kind of broken. Okay, if you're able to stack up things like the big one is going to be devastating wounds and lethal hits. If you have both of those, then holy fuck. Okay, because those two universals, when you put them together, lethal hits is anytime you roll a 6 to hit, it auto wounds. Okay? But here's the thing. When it auto wounds, that auto wound also counts as a 6. So if you have devastating wounds on top of lethal hits,
it auto wounds and does it as a mortal, if I recall correctly.
Yes. It auto wounds and deals a mortal as the auto wound. It's straight up 3rd edition Rending Claws.
I mean, I would certainly like to see Imperial Guard build around combining those two.
It's a little difficult, because I don't think there's very much that gets devastating wounds.
I'm well aware that it wouldn't happen, but...
Yeah. Well, who knows? When the Codex comes out, there may be a way to synergize that.
Yeah, but you already know what I'd be going for. A guardsman squad taking out a knight that way?
Yup. I mean, granted, right now, that you can still do that. Like, a lot of people sit there and talk about the massive toughness increases. Guards still get lethal hits. Universally. For the entire army. Born soldiers is a thing. So then, you're just needing to have your opponent fail their armor save. Now that's the problem, because most knights have a 2+ armor save now. But you're getting around the massive toughness increases. I personally think that a lot of the concerns that I've had for 10th edition are pretty ameliorated. I don't think that there's a problem with 10th edition. I don't. I think it's fine. And this is even me just theory crafting. Like, I've not even actually played the game yet. But going through a lot of the stuff and, like, you know, figuring out, especially after seeing the data sheets for everything, and figuring out how everything works, there's no, like, none of the armies have been rendered unplayable, really. I don't think, at least. The big one that got hit really hard, from what I've heard, is the TUES. But I don't think that they're straight up unplayable, if that makes sense.
The TUES getting shat on is something TUES players are used to.
Yeah, unfortunately. And I know you were a fledgling TUES player, too. You were starting to collect them.
Yeah.
But I do think...
I will say that the fact that the multiplying points for stacking weapons being gone is a blessing.
Okay, wait, what do you mean?
First burst cannon 5, second burst cannon 10.
Oh, okay, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
That's gone.
Yeah, that's a good thing, in my opinion.
Yeah, allowing you to, for example, pull a fusion cannon, spam XV8 team.
Oh yeah.
Though, and this is not a huge issue because it's not really a great weapon, the air burster is limited to 1 per.
Sure.
That's probably just to avoid the very cheesy artillery XV8s.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, how they've changed strength and toughness, at least with the suits, has allowed it to be a situation where XV8s with fusion guns can take on light armor, while heavier armor, well, the broadside exists.
Yeah. And I mean, to be fair for that, that's kind of the point of those models, you know? You should be needing to take down heavier armor with something like a broadside. You shouldn't be needing to try and only use fusion guns for it.
Mm.
Now the problem I've got though is that I think they were a little too overzealous in nerfing meltaguns and didn't realize that they were gimping the Battle Sisters to do so. Because literally that's their only tank killing weapon. They get nothing else.
Don't they have one okay gun on their tank?
The only thing, at least in terms of like in practicality for the things that I've looked into, that they can take down armor reliably is the Exorcist. The Exorcist missile. That's it. Nothing else. Because the Castigators sure as fuck can't do it, because that's just a regular battle cannon. They can take down heavy infantry really easily, but strength 8 and 3 damage is not going to kill a tank. At least not in any kind of expediency where you need it.
It's not a delete this now button.
Exactly. Which means that the Sisters of Battle are relegated to only one option when fighting something like, say, Knights or anything like that. Which sucks. That does suck. That's not good design. I'll criticize GW where they need it.
Yeah, it sounds like it's starting to rain outside.
Oh yeah. Well, didn't you hear on the radio? You know, the weather's supposed to be real bad for the next couple of weeks.
Good.
I hope that weather burns itself out over July, so that in August it's nice, clear skies.
I think it should burn itself out just over the next week. Because a lot of it's coming down to a tropical storm that is brewing and a whole bunch of other stuff. But yeah, all that stuff should be done by the end of the week, maybe end of next week.
Mm-hmm. And by tropical storm, you just mean that rain band that's coming in?
Well, there's actually a speculated tropical storm that's actually brewing and coming in on the mainland.
The only one tropical storm in the Atlantic the NOAA is tracking is dying 500 kilometers southwest of Bermuda.
Well, I'd heard that it has the potential to make landfall in Florida.
Yeah, it needs to.
That was also a week ago.
Oh, so you might be talking about Brett.
Yes.
Yeah, Brett died out near Puerto Rico.
Okay. That's good. Yeah, because the major problem that we've got is we've got a low pressure trap in the Appalachians, which is creating this massive backflow, which has the potential to turn into severe thunder and maybe possibly tornadoes right now over the next week. And it's unprecedented because normally it doesn't get this hot in June.
Well, I mean, Greta Thunberg kind of warned us about it, so.
Well, I mean, yeah, how dare Brett?
How dare?
How dare?
How dare you, donkey?
How dare? Damn Canadians.
I didn't do anything.
Damn Canadians in your cold weather. How dare
you? You stole her childhood.
I should be in school right now.
Yeah, you should.
How dare you? I'm totally not touring around in a yacht because I should be in school right now.
Speaking the coached world words of our hippie sweet grandparents. And I tell you what, the Swedes really need to learn that if you're going to be the way Sweden is, you can't also be the world's foremost NIMBY society.
They're just worldly conscious, you horrible, horrible Canadian. How dare you?
Yeah, you
I'm sorry, but do you hear any issues in Stockholm? No, you hear all the problems in Malmo. Because the Stockholm elite said, oh, we'll put all the immigrants in Malmo. Turning Malmo from peaceful paradise to the rape capital of Europe.
Wow! What?
I know, hate fact. But guess what? I don't care if my hate facts are offensive. Also, can we talk about the fact that most of Sweden's material exports are iron and coal?
No, because that means that Sweden is then complicit in global warming because coal, burning petroleum.
And wait, coal and what?
Iron.
Oh, iron. I thought you said onion. I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, I 100% agree with you.
we're gonna, yeah, Sanguine, don't challenge Sanguine, man. He's gonna make like an onion exclusive dish and he's gonna make you try it. You know it's coming.
Why I can't believe that there are people that don't like one of the 3 foundational foods in multiple trinities of foundational foods. Cajun food, the bell pepper, onion, celery. French food, onion, garlic. I forget the third one, but I think it's cheese.
I will say the celery can go take a hike in Cajun food. Easily the worst part about it, but
yes.
It's like God decided, hey, I want to make hair edible, but tastes like water, And make it crunchy.
Oh, trust me.
I hate celery.
Raw celery is disgusting, yes. But the varieties used in Cajun food have a nice subtle tang to them when cooked right.
I'll tell you this much. I really like Cajun food when it doesn't have that kind of filler. Give me a good jambalaya with like lots of peppers and all sorts of onions and garlic and all that kind of shit. I'm okay with that. Just pass me with that fucking celery shit. I don't need that filler.
You're still going against one of the 3 foundational foods.
That's fine. That's fine. I'll just make jambalaya the good way.
Hey, and more for everybody else.
But you like celery?
Whatever they're trying to peddle.
Like, celery is bad when peanut butter can't even make it good.
Celery is pretty good.
No, I'm gonna disagree with you there.
Well, see, this is where we both hold a benefit. See, were we to find ourselves at a dinner party, and we both had a plate of celery and onions, I would happily give you my onions.
Okay, onion on its own is just too powerful.
Okay, whatever. Canadian. You probably eat onion with maple syrup. Oh,
that's a good point.
Ew.
It's funny. I thought the whole maple syrup thing was just a joke, and then when a Canadian VTuber decided to try and kill her habit of going to Subway, one of the things that she decided to do was to put her Subway sandwiches through a blender. But being Canadian, she said, well, I need to top this in some sort of way to make it palatable. So she got out her maple syrup.
Ew.
I thought it was just a joke, but Canadians living up to their stereotypes, so, just saying.
Ew.
It was funny too. There was another stream with that Canadian person. One of the other VTubers asked if the Canadian $20 bill had Queen Elizabeth on it.
Yes.
Because the American correctly identified Queen Elizabeth, but the Canadian didn't know. And the Canadian didn't know who was on any of their money, and then challenged the American to know who's on the American dollar bills.
5 has Wilfrid Laurier, 10 used to have McDonald's at McDonald's, it now has some black bitch. The 20
Minions
has
of the Zoo does not condone the views of Donkey.
the 20 has Queen Elizabeth, though that's likely to be replaced by King Charles. The 50 has Pearson, and the 100, no, it's the 100 that has Pearson, it's the 50 that has King on it. Mackenzie King.
Ah, okay. I can tell you what all the American money has. In order.
1 has Washington, 5 has... I want to say Jackson.
Andrew Jackson?
Yeah. No, Jackson's on the 10.
Yeah. So who's on the 5?
It's not Jefferson.
No. Jefferson's on the 2.
You got a 2?
We have a $2 bill, yes. And it's in circulation.
I honestly have no clue who's on the 5. The rest I do know. The 50 has
well, who's on the 20? You missed the 20.
God damn it. Teddy's on one of them, I think. Not the 20, though. I think he's on the 50.
Teddy Roosevelt?
Yeah.
No, he's not on any money.
Bullshit.
He's not.
I know Grant's on the 50.
Yes. Ulysses S. Grant is on the 50.
Ben's on the 100 for all of it. That's an obvious
the Benjamins, one. Baby. Yeah.
It's the 5 and the 20 I have difficulties with. I honestly don't know the 5 and the 20.
The 20 is Andrew Jackson.
Then who's on the 10?
The 10 is Alexander Hamilton.
Right. All the small denominations have early people on.
Yep. Well, no, not necessarily either, because who's on the 5?
I was about to say Adams, assuming it's another early person.
Nope. Abraham Lincoln is on 5.
They gave him 2 pieces of currency?
Well, George Washington's on the quarter, so it gave him 2 pieces too.
Fair enough.
I think the most modern president on any currency is JFK on the 50-cent piece.
Yeah, but half dollars are rarely used.
They are, yeah. And I say, who's on the single, the single coin? I'll accept 2 different answers.
Sacagawea was on a gold coin.
Yes, Sacagawea is on one of the dollar bills. Who's on the other? Before Sacagawea.
I've seen a US $1 coin, but I have no clue whose face is on the one side.
Well, one of the newer ones that are like gold coins are Sacagawea. The older one is Susan B. Anthony.
Oh, it's B. Anthony. Thanks.
I was to say, don't test me on my American history knowledge. It's one of the few things that I can recite a whole bunch of shit on.
Yeah. And honestly, on average, most Canadians know more about American history than Canadian history. But it's just because of cultural osmosis.
Yeah. I would say I'm constantly always surprised at how much Canadians know about America. But then it's like, at the same time, you know, a lot of the media that Canada consumes, you know, there's, you know, being so open border with the United States for the longest time before 9/11, Canada was pretty much, you know, there was no real difference between America and Canada at that point.
No. And only with the pandemic has a serious concern between the 5-mile stretch of the border even come up.
Oh yeah. I remember back when I was a kid, we went over the Michigan border on the Upper Peninsula into Canada without needing a passport or anything. But that was back when I was a kid, so it was well before 9/11. It was in the 80s.
Well, I know Americans might not like this, but I actually do believe that America needs to shrink by 3.4 square kilometers.
We're not giving ground to you if that's what.
The state of Seattle in the U.S. nearly failed its constitutional duty to an American town because of the pandemic.
Do you mean the city of Seattle? There's no state of Seattle.
State of Washington.
There you go.
Same thing, sorta.
Not really. Here in Illinois, it's the state of Chicago, yes, because, you know, Chicago dictates all of the Illinois policy, but, you know.
Well, I'm referring to Point Robert.
Ah. I mean, it's fine, you know, when the Great Dragon Ryudomo is seen, you know, emerging from Mount Fuji, and the Sixth World dawns, you know, and Daniel Howling Coyote leads the Ghost Dance, and reclaims the whole of the central United States for the Ute Nation and the NAN, the Native American nations, and America is forced to annex part of Canada, and the South secedes from the Union yet again. That's when, you know, it's fine. You know, we won't even be a difference between, you know, we'll be the United Canadian and American States.
Did you just recite the background lore to one of your games?
Yeah, Shadowrun. Shadowrun essentially is basically think Dungeons and Dragons set in Blade Runner.
Yeah, you've told me a bit on this.
It's awesome. I fucking love Shadowrun.
But come on. Point Roberts is a couple years from being abandoned because of people fleeing it because of what the pandemic did to that town.
I mean, technically speaking, there's a whole bunch of frontier towns that have just been kind of slowly bleeding out and dying everywhere. You know, in terms of like even on the Canadian border, in Canada, in the Yukon, and even so far as down in like Arizona. And there's several places that would be technically considered ghost towns with how many people actually live within the borders.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not even citing the often recounted one with Centralia, because that just straight up the town just is completely gone now. There's nothing there.
What happened at the...
Oh, you don't know about the story of Centralia? It was a town in Pennsylvania. What happened was an industrial accident caused a fire in a coal mine, and it is unquenchable. Like, they can't put out the fire at all, and it's been burning. It's been burning since the 60s.
Oh, so America's been burning since the 60s. Got it.
Yeah. Pretty much all of the people that used to live in the town got relocated by the government because of the noxious fumes. There's a bit of highway that actually goes through Centralia, and they have to repave it every year because of the heat causes the highway to buckle and crack.
Right.
I'd figure at some point it would just run out of oxygen, you know? But apparently not. I don't know. I don't know why it's, you know, still burning. I'm not a scientist either, so I wouldn't be able to speculate, but, you know, that's just one of the, you know, stories that is part of Americana. I'll say my other favorite one is Helltown in Ohio. That one's really fun, too. Although that one's a little bit more tragic. Like, yeah, okay, the underground fire, that's pretty tragic, too, but this one was just a case of the government getting greedy. They forcefully relocated a whole bunch of people and then turned their town into a ghost town for no terribly apparent reason. It was part of the 60s land buyback for forest conservation. But yeah, there's all these like urban myths about Helltown. Like, there's a church where Satanists gather to do their worship because there's like an upside down cross hanging over the door and all sorts of weird stuff like that. I do want to go there eventually. I think it'd be fun. But then again, I'm into the idea of, you know, looking at urban decay. So, sue me. Excuse me. Okay. I'm going for almost an hour. I figure I'll build one more Terminator. And then we can call it a stream.
Alrighty.
We've been going for almost an hour.
Really? It hasn't felt like that long.
No, it hasn't. I mean, it's good to be back and all. I'm you know, I haven't streamed in so long. But, yeah, we've got other stuff that people are looking to do. Don't want to take up everyone's time.
Bye.
But, yeah. I think it'd be fun, too, like, while we're out in the woods, is to do some, like, recording and streaming and stuff like that. That'd be fun.
I'm not sure the bandwidth exists out that way to do streaming.
Well, dude, do you know that when the meetings were doing its anniversary, we were at Rhode Island, and we joined the stream?
I'm
not sure.
Yeah, joined a stream. You did host.
Sure. Well, I don't know. I mean, I do have the ability to turn my phone on hotspot. So if we bring like a laptop, I could host.
Possibly. Don't know how reliable such a thing would be.
Well, I gotta say, the trip out there, I didn't have too much like hiccups when it comes to connection with my phone. Even on Rock, I didn't. And fuck, Sanguine was listening to the podcast like the entire fucking trip. I think it'll be fun though. Everything considered, you can have a good time. Yeah, people sit there and say, "Oh, let's get away from the electronic stuff." Blah blah blah. I'm like, yeah, but we can enhance being out in the woods and in nature with all this stuff. I don't see why you wouldn't want to. No. Plus, I think it'd be hilarious and awesome to play a fucking 40K game out in the woods. It'd be awesome.
I am looking forward to this trip quite a bit.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Fun isn't the word I'm thinking of right now. Exciting is. We're trying to cram a 6'2" corgi gentleman into a CRJ sounds like hell.
Oh, you'll be fine.
It's only an hour.
Yeah.
That said, it's a united CRJ, so
United not known for spacious interior?
Well, the CRJ is pretty crap for interior space. United's just shit in general.
I remember when I was trying to find a flight. I was gonna, for a while there, when my uncle died, I was trying to figure out a way to take a plane out to the funeral. Which, you know, again, it's only in Ohio. So it wouldn't have been that big of a flight. But you would not believe the kind of loopholes that you had to sit there and jump through if you wanted to try and catch a flight from O'Hare to fucking Dayton, Ohio. It's nuts.
I would guess it would be either Detroit or Pearson and then a local flight.
No, there was one direct. It was the fact that I was trying to get it the day before the flight, and halfway into the booking, it went off the website. So I had to say, fuck it, and rent a car and drive out. Because at the time, still, I don't have a car that could make that trip. By the time this August, August rolls around, I will have a Jeep Liberty that I'm going to be driving us around in. So,
which sounds fun.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna say there's plenty of room in that car, and it's nice too. It's a 2016, so way nicer than the car that I originally had. Although I missed that car too. It was a nice car too, but fucking faggots here in Illinois cutting out the catalytic converter, pretty much ruining my car.
I'm pretty sure you just offended every single city in the state of Illinois except for Chicago.
Well, I'm gonna say, this state wants to not get known for its fucking criminals. They need to start fucking doing something about them.
It can't when the city that causes all these problems basically controls all the power in the state. Like, if Chicago wants to go and be a hellhole, okay, let the Springfield area join Corn State, let everything south of Chicago join Indiana, and let the northern part be split between Wisconsin and whatever the heck is beside Wisconsin.
I mean, I wouldn't be in Wisconsin, but we're on the west side, so we would be Corn State.
How would you're nowhere near Springfield?
No, we're on the west side of Chicago.
Yeah, so you'd be going to whatever.
No, or Iowa. Believe it or not,
Yeah.
Springfield's actually closer to Missouri than it is Iowa.
Fair enough.
And to be fair, for Bobby Blagojevich and fucking JB Prickster, they can join fucking St. Louis and get shot in the streets for all I give a fuck. Fuck Illinois politicians.
Wow, counting Missouri just on St. Louis.
Yeah. I mean, St. Louis, where Missouri wouldn't be so bad if it weren't for St. Louis, but, that's pretty indicative of the entire state, so... Sorry, Missouri, you can go fuck yourselves.
I will agree. There's also the crackheads south and about half of Kansas City, so... Basically a third of the state is either crackheads or crime.
Mm-hmm.
Another third is just Iowa, but not Iowa.
Yeah.
That just leaves this middle section, which includes Columbus and I wanted to say Jacksonville.
I don't know Missouri too well. About the only thing we did when we went through Missouri on our way out to the west was go to the Gateway Arch in St. Louis, and then you fucked off.
I mean, there's outside of people who really have an affinity for the state, say Missouri only has 3 attractions: Columbus if you're going to college, St. Louis, and Kansas City. Everywhere else is just, I don't know.
Yeah.
Much like Kansas itself, other than being a sissy state.
I thought you liked the Chiefs. What's your problem?
Now, that's the fighting words. The Kansas City Chiefs are from Kansas City, Missouri, not Kansas City, Kansas. There is a huge difference there. Kansas City, Missouri is the good part. Kansas City, Kansas is a sissy, gentrified shithole in a sissy state.
I don't really know much, or know much about Kansas itself, other than the band. Dust in the Wind.
And people from Kansas and Missouri will completely understand why I shit all over Kansas. It's an old rivalry between those two states. I mean, it could be argued that the Civil War started with that rivalry. And of course, Kansas technically won the Civil War. If you're diving it down to just those two states, but the Missouri University teams beat Kansas University every year, so.
I mean, you're talking about college football here. Are you trying to summon Not Jack?
No.
Watch Hate Camel immediately joins.
and I'm talking about it, Eddie's honestly. But you are right. Football does have the longest streak.
Yeah. Well, we've been going for an hour. I'm gonna try to finish up these guys off stream, and then we'll actually get to some painting next weekend, hopefully. And hopefully even have all of this stuff that I've been building here done before then. But we'll see. Anyway, we've been your Minions of the Zoo. Thanks for coming out and watching some glue dry. See how things build? Yeah, be sure to watch tomorrow where Adam is going to be the host. You got any games lined up for tomorrow, Adam? Adam?
He fell asleep or ran off.
He might be doing something. But yeah, be sure to watch tomorrow when Adam's the host, and he's gonna play some radio games, probably against Terry. Almost assuredly against Terry. Maybe Kefki will join. But yeah, we've been your Minions. Good to be back. Hopefully I'll not take so long a hiatus next time. Yeah. Take care, everyone. The zoo is closed.